Okay, if anybody's got any questions for Father?
Yes.
Father, if we understand correctly, you have a brother who's at
Morgon, yes.
Yes. Is there any change in their policy?
I just learned that Father Antoine now is saying, telling people not to go to the resistance. First time I hear that.
Yeah.
So that's also the danger of so-called doing nothing and resisting from within. Because in the end, they turn against the resistance, and they refuse to look at the doctrine which is at stake. So that's a big problem.
Our information is a month old, so we thought we'd ask you.
Yeah.
What is with Father Pino?
He was granted his trial, but they refused to publish the sentence.
Oh.
Yeah, and we don't know.
So we don't know what.
Somebody on the internet said that he has been. He's not allowed to practice as a priest now through the SSPX. That's his sentence. He's not. He
the sentence has come out?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's official. It's somebody who commented on Avacumata website.
Avec l'Immaculée, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's an internet rumor so far.
We'll see whether it's confirmed or not. And, well, the Kansas City Conference of Bishops is very revealing. He maintains his position, he maintains his errors, but he's like everybody's screaming against Pope Francis, so he has no choice than to join the chorus. So the practical deal there could still be one. We don't know how. What we see is that some priests now are having local deals with the diocese. That could be they could do it. Since it didn't work in the official channel, created de facto situations. And then in France, everybody was amazed by a French prior, Father Lamoran, went straight back to the diocese. So it's a sign that liberalism is creating many liberal spirits, so some priests wouldn't mind to collaborate with the diocese. So depending on the places, it's like that, yeah. But it's an uncomfortable situation, a festering situation where the minds are being dulled, like the mind of Father Scott, Capuchins, or they are laying down their weapons progressively, basically, because they don't want to contradict the official line. They get punished. Yeah.
Father, can you give us some background to the name Marian Corps? And is it a name that's going to be officially adopted?
It's officially adopted, yeah.
It is.
It's like you say the Franciscan Conventual, Franciscans Observant, Franciscan Capuchin. So we had a qualification to the SSPX because we deem our expulsion was illegal, groundless, anti-canonical, made on the basis of the new code of canon law. So we remain what we are. Our purpose is to stay what we are and to keep that same position of the Archbishop. So when people ask us to be sedevacantists, we can't, and when they ask us to be liberals, we can't. And but then there are distinction that has to be made between the mainstream and us. And so we had this Marian dimension, and then core because liberalism refuses to fight. It's always the same disease. So we need priests who have the sense of the fight for the good.
So are all society's priests who are no longer part of the Society of St. Pius X, have they adopted this name? Or is it...
Yeah, Father Foucault, Father Pfeiffer,
yourself, and
myself, Father Valan.
I like about Father Four, for example, in France.
No, I mean, we haven't discussed it among us Frenchmen. So I came up with a French name, Compagnie de Marie, because there is no Marine Corps in France.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with a name in French, but not yet approved, not yet fully discussed. But the name in English has been fully approved and discussed. So we are already making stamps, and when the certificates, the canonical files, and the official papers, put in Marian Corps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And does Bishop Williamson have any?
No, he doesn't want to be Marian Corps.
No. Okay.
No, he wants to be on his own, and he wants fragmentation, separation between.
So what Bishop Williamson is creating in England, he bought a house. That's just...
It's a house in which he's going to resist and tell priests to join, but to whatever, not necessary to us.
So how was the mood in the seminary last week? You were there teaching catechism
Yeah.
to a few seminarians.
No, I give them acts of the magisterium and spiritual conferences.
Okay. And how many are there at this point in time?
6.
6?
Yeah.
With more coming, I guess.
I guess every year there will be a batch. Huh?
From what Father Pfeiffer was saying, it was looking it was going to be like 10 or 11
Well, we said
in the
20,
long
but
or 20? Wow.
yeah. Well, I think
But some have the problem with the visas, huh?
the Filipinos won't come. Yeah. Complicated. It's not about numbers.
No, it's about quality.
Quality, we don't even know. We're not even sure about that. We just do what's right, I think. We give you the guarantee. We take care of your souls by manning those circuits. But we want to give you also the guarantee that there is a next generation which is being prepared for you. How big is it going to be? That's out of these hands.
Father, what do you say to those who say that Bishop Fellay has retracted the April 15 declaration and therefore we could just forget about it?
No, they should listen to his conference in Kansas City that says the opposite.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Again? Oh.
yeah, he maintains the text in that conference. Because, at worst, the text may have some ambiguities, but he's maintaining that same position. And then he says in the sermon, we dare to say there are good things in Vatican II. That paves the way to accepting Vatican II in the light of tradition. And then he says, we are still dealing with the Church. With Pope Francis, we are still dealing with the Church. Whereas by this time, Archbishop Lefebvre would be so thoroughly horrified. Because, if Archbishop Lefebvre called Jean-Paul II an antichrist,
Yes.
how would we call Pope Francis, who is 10 times worse?
That's what that is gets to.
The real thing, huh?
Why hasn't Bishop Fellay said anything about what is going on in Rome? Pope Francis
No,
accepting the gays.
Well, recently he joined the choir now. Now he's saying he's very bad.
Oh,
Only now, yeah.
only now.
Only now. He's saying like everybody else.
Yeah, sure, good.
So,
So you want to donate it to the... Okay, well,
Yeah,
thank you.
only now he sees the light.
only now he sees alive. Because he's got no choice. Only he's got to do damage control. He's got to position himself on the right.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I never wanted a deal with Rome. I never wanted an agreement with Rome.
Okay, say that again.
Thank God we didn't have a deal with Rome. I never wanted to have a deal with the Modernists.
Did you get a call the next day inviting you back to come into the society?
Nothing, no. I got no thanks.
Along with Bishop Williamson, Father Pfeiffer, Father Hugo?
Do that, yeah. That's very nice.
In French, to be thanked means to be thrown out.
Yeah.
So I was thanked abundantly. So you see, he's thanking the heavens and he's thanking us.
And what else did I want to say? Yes, the other thing that were published in French is the. Do you know about the identity theft of Father Pinot? You all know about it, or the question of Father Ryu to Father Salnaz? You know about it? Those are all communist methods, And what I learned this morning is that they put parental authority on all the websites in the priories to block the websites of the resistance. That is, if you send a letter with a link to a website of the resistance to a priest in a priory, the computer will not let the letter.
Yeah, like go through.
And then those priests cannot check the documents on the resistance websites.
Oh.
Go back to Morse code.
Yeah. Father Lenné and Father Couture compared my writings to pornography.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. And then I had a pile of leaflets. They came in my bedroom and they stole it from my bedroom. I screamed in the air. I says, "This is privacy. You came in my bedroom. You took that box from my bedroom, and so I had it returned to me."
Wow. What was missing?
Nothing. Yeah. Father Onoda returned it to me. I say, if you want to fight me, at least use, normal means. There are rules in warfare, Yeah.
You seem like a mafia. That's the
I,
way they.
Big Brother, yeah.
Yes.
Mafia has some charm.
Yeah.
You know what it stands for? Mafia? You know what it stands for?
What is it?
Mothers and Fathers International Association. Priest, no sort of priest told me that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But they are very Catholic,
It's a cult.
They got a little problem with the fifth commandment. Yes. But the rest is about just right.
They're a cult.
Yeah.
Religious cult.
And what other questions?
Dios mío. How is the monastery doing in Colombia?
Well, the pictures, I know what you know, the pictures, Don
Yeah.
Raphael. And
I was so surprised to read about it. Yeah.
yeah. We are small, but we are everywhere.
Yes. Because the beautiful thing is that the monastery was built long before, waiting for somebody to come. It's incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
Only in the hands of St. Joseph.
If Bishop Williamson gets around to consecrating bishops, who do you think would be a good candidate?
Don Tomás Aquinas.
I think everybody has told him.
Yes.
We asked that question between ourselves and we said the same.
Yes, because he trusts him entirely, and they will work well together. For the moment, just as one that gives us security.
Yeah.
So
But he's in no rush.
he's in no rush, unfortunately. I think he should. Yeah.
How's Bishop Williamson's health?
Good. Yeah. I think I just saw him last week, less than a week ago.
Can he leave the country?
Yeah.
Can he leave the country?
I think so. Yeah. He goes everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
He even got under Germany. So.
Yeah. His trial is going to reopen, and right now he's going to open this house in South England. Nobody has found it.
What is happening?
I think it's bought. It's gonna be. I think he wants to escape alone. That's why he's asking everybody. I'm not sure if it's possible.
Well, that's one problem with the resistance. The resistance has many organizations that need financing, and there's very few in the resistance to do the financing.
Or maybe you should call Maximilian Kra. He's trying. Hey Max, for old time's sakes,
Or tell all those people who are still going to the SSPX but not contributing to send their contributions to the resistance.
And what is Father Wegner replying when you ask him about the branding? Is he still proud of the branding?
Of course.
I'm the one who recorded his sermon.
Ah, yes. And he praises the branding. He's got no regrets.
He didn't tell us if he had any regrets.
Father Girouard did discuss that with him when he went out to see Father Girouard. And Father Girouard was kind of shocked. He said that he was reporting this back to Father Wegner. I heard about all this, and he was expecting Father to back off a bit, but Father Wegner, no, he said that no, this is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We have to do this. This is how we're going to fight in a modern method. We're going to use the modern methods against them.
Yeah.
But also he said in a sermon one Sunday that the Bishop Fellay has done for the society a lot more than Archbishop Lefebvre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's proud of it.
That's
They are sycophants, yeah. Yeah. In good old days of Comrade Stalin.
and he said that from the pulpit, from the pulpit.
More good than the Archbishop.
Yeah. That he has done more than the Archbishop.
He's better than the founder himself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he has done more than him.
Is there any chance of any of those priests in France who have been sort of thrown out coming over here, or maybe staying in Quebec and then coming to Toronto as well?
I don't know. French. They are not. I think there is only Father Rioux, as I know, and Father Faure, myself. Not much else.
What about Father Pinot and Father Sal?
Salnave is depressed, so he's not doing anything either way. And Father Pinot, I don't know. And France is loaded with resistance from within. So
That never works.
That doesn't work. It's been tried before.
yeah, well, I'm learning that Morgon now is fighting the resistance for the first time officially. So
Who was fighting?
Morgon is
What about the Dominicans in France?
that's an interesting story because you can join us anytime. So it might be the detonator, might be.
Are they waiting until we get another bishop?
Maybe they are waiting for that as well. Dominicans they tread carefully. You look they follow all the documents, and so when I saw them, they are very aware of what's going on. It's like Father Fox. We are a bunch of Galileans, we don't look so good, So we don't shave every morning. Father Hugo does.
But at least we look honest. The others are dishonest completely. I mean, they say one thing, then they do the other. At least we're honest, Father.
I think God is simple.
Yeah, exactly. We don't play games. They're too busy playing games.
And what else can I tell you found out? Yes, in 2001, I read in one of the Nouvelles de Chrétienté or Dici, whatever, Bishop Fellay saying, to recognize Vatican II is no problem for us. And I forgot what was the source. I wrote to Bishop Williamson at the time. And he replied to me, yes, Bishop Fellay is very weak in doctrine, but we will contain him. So Bishop Williamson really tried, and he was aware. And then I stopped to worry. Then worried again that the Rosary Crusade didn't like them all that much.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
And I didn't like also the Vigil of Adoration before the Blessed Sacrament for Life in December 2010. I don't know if you remember. There was a vigil. We had to pray with the Holy Father for life.
Right.
That I didn't like. But for me, this was never terminal liberalism, never so serious.
Yeah.
What made me jump was the Coronum of March 2012. That really showed the change of direction. And then the letter of Bishop Fellay answering the letter of the three bishops, Because the Titanic hits the iceberg on April 14th and sinks in the early morning of April 15th declaration.
Noah's Ark.
So this letter of April 14th and then the declaration. But I didn't have the declaration at the time. What's amazing is that Bishop Fellay is not he should have kept a veil of silence on the April 15th declaration. If I were Father Nelly of Lugera, I would tell him, you like your declaration, fine, but don't talk about it. Keep it quiet. Don't tell people that this is your position. Instead, in order to defend himself, he's been trying to justify the declaration many times over.
And yet still no reaction from the priest, knowing that.
No reaction. It's amazing. Because in the past, you know, the hallmark of the society was to scrutinize, to examine the text, to see this is semi-liberalism or semi-liberalism, or you know, not anymore.
What about that superior, I think it's from Argentina, who at the very beginning of the
Chapter that's Father Pagliarani, I know him well.
No, not him, the one who criticized Bishop Fellay.
De Jornal, yes.
Yeah. What happened to him? He's now
He's
going
still
to
head of Econ Seminary. But at some stage he will be eased out, replaced by... Now the superior of the seminary in Flavigny is liberal. He was well known for publishing a book quoting John Paul II, Benedict XVI, and Paul VI on the family.
Right.
So several quotes of several modernist popes on the family. That's so. But Father de Jornal holds the main seminary.
Any chance of him joining?
But he has some liberal teachers. I don't think so. I think they are caught in the trap of the institution.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the Fabian Society or Antonio Gramsci or basic Freemasonry, which is infiltration.
Right.
So if you say that the Catholic Church got infiltrated, qui potest maius potest minus, who can do the bigger, can do the smaller. So the devil can infiltrate a small fry. But most of the damage has been done by priests who were already liberal at the time of Archbishop Lefebvre. Because Archbishop Lefebvre would carry such an authority, such an experience, unquestionable. So you could say that all the magnets were pointing in the same direction. Once the main magnet is taken off, then they point in whatever direction.
Yes.
So Archbishop Lefebvre was a unifying force for us,
Yes.
and that force has disappeared. And then the liberal side resurfaced, and they took over.
Yeah. Is that what happened with Castor de Meyer too? As long as he was alive, he kept it going, and the moment he's dead, gone.
And that's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
It took us long. Yeah.
It was a brilliant move to take out Bishop Williamson then with that Swedish affair.
Yeah.
Because the other two seem to be less of a leader.
Yeah.
Mm.
The one with all the force. And
Yeah. Well, the main text of the letter of the three bishops is written by Bishop Williamson.
Yeah.
Bishop Gerarita adds a few things, and Bishop Tissier doesn't touch. All three signed. Bishop Williamson was almost expelled several times over before his final expulsion.
Right.
So he bore the brunt, and that's why he's not inclined to have another organization.
Yeah.
I understand his point. I believe it cannot be the same.
Yeah.
And then we need to have something which is kind of more feudal, where the power is more local. Like the kings of old didn't have absolute power; they had to rely on their dukes and barons.
Checks and balances, maybe better.
Well, I don't like the idea of check and balances
I know,
not that
but-
much, but I would say feudalism, the principle of subsidiarity.
Yeah.
We saw Father Couture in the Fatima conference.
He was there?
Falls. Frank and me were there.
Ah, yes.
Frank got most of what he was saying. My point was that there's not much being said in the society chapels. Anything against the Vatican II. Is that universal pretty well everywhere?
Yeah.
We got very touchy when we were talking to him. We didn't let on which side we're really on in that. But then nearly towards the end, he was asking for names and stuff like that.
Is he figured out what side you were on?
That's communism, yeah.
But then he showed me his magazine, the new magazine. I like that little one from the Southeast Asian, that your district down there.
Flying Squirrel?
The smaller Southeast Asian Society.
Miles Christi?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. But anyways, now they have a bigger format. Just like they did here, Father Wagner did here in Toronto anyway. But he, he said, "Oh, we still talk about against the Novus Ordo." And I looked at the magazine after, and there was nothing much in there. There was something about the Second Vatican Council not condemning communism, but that's
it.
long ago.
All that,
nothing else there. It's just like a
feel good, really. It's 1950ism, so let's be nice.
Yeah,
that's it. As they told Father Wegner, and Novus Ordo is dying of its own death. Why should you do anything against it? It's dying anyways. Just be nice and holy and look good.
It's interesting how that gets.
Father Couture really is one of those who really believe that the graces of Archbishop Lefebvre have migrated on the person of Bishop Fellay.
Good grief.
Yeah, he told me that. I had a long discussion with him about it.
This is crazy.
A few years before the crisis.
In other words, you don't have to work for the faith.
No, Bishop Fellay, Daddy knows best, And
Grace at stake.
And Father Couture strictly toes the line of Bishop Fellay. So when Bishop Fellay says I was mistaken, then he says you would agree. Bishop Fellay was mistaken. But you have to wait until Bishop Fellay says that he was mistaken to say that Bishop Fellay was mistaken. Otherwise, it's a mistake.
Do you know what's happening with Father Gruner? Apparently he's supposed to be with the resistance, but it doesn't look like it.
He was very political in his last conference, I heard. Would not publish Father Perez's intervention.
And before we never heard or we never saw a lot of the SXPX priests around him, but now it seems like
they're all quoting him now.
Something is happening with him.
I remember I talked to John Bernari. Father Gruner was in Toronto, not in April, that was back in the spring. And stopped, after the conference or the talks, I asked him, what's with the, talks with Bishop Williamson. And he just kind of, like this, and he goes, "Oh, it bothers me. This people on this side, people on that side. What do you do?" But in the latest Catholic Family News, he did have a, 2 issues ago, he said, "Tell us what you want written in the magazine, in the newspaper. Give us your ideas." And he did have, Steve, what was it, 2 articles about the...
He had 2 very good articles, one by Dr. Hornofsky, I forget exactly what, and one by John Salsa. One by John Salsa was basically proving that the Novus Ordo Mass is not a Mass. So he did sort of fight that way. Dr. Hornofsky article, I think, basically went through the history of what Archbishop Lefebvre was talking about, showing that Archbishop Lefebvre did say something totally against making a deal. So he did that much right, but that's it. He won't go any further.
Well, Father Kramer is firing on all pistons.
Yeah.
So.
Good for him.
Father Perez has posted his talk up on his website, so it is available for anybody who wants.
We should put it on our website.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yes.
Father Couture did mention, he said, that was an excellent speaker there, Cornelia Ferrara. Maybe you're familiar with her? She's Indian background. That's Father Gruner's.
But they're all posturing that they are anti-Vatican II and everything. But when push comes to shove,
well, it's more than that. I know her. Like I used to go to her house. She was giving talks.
I'm referring to Father Couture. I mean, they're all posturing. They are super duper. And
he didn't say anything.
Yeah. Father Pfeiffer talked to Fraternity of St. Peter priest in Post Falls, and they immediately told him, "But we are against Vatican II." So now everybody is getting against Vatican II.
Yeah. Maybe the priest is, but is their whole policy overall?
They are not doing anything against it.
Yeah.
But there's a different thing
Talk,
about
talk.
the talk and the walk.
Yeah, that's it. They talk good. That's it.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah. So Father, thank you so much for giving us a
Yes.
beautiful mass. It's coming all the way.